It's back. The basketball tournament returns to Fox. And to kick things off, a renewal of one of the greatest rivalries in college basketball. The alums from the University of Louisville against the alums from the University of Kentucky in the $2 million winner-take-all TBT. Get started right now. And what a matchup we have for you to get things started. We are at historic Memorial Coliseum in Lexington, Kentucky. You would think it's the middle of December, not the middle of July, for game one of this best-of-3 series pitting the Louisville alumni against the Kentucky alumni. And Memorial is going to be rocking here this afternoon. A new look to TBT for 2026. We've divided the tournament in half. This is the alumni side, and we have these 8 alumni teams that are playing all best-of-3 series. The winner of the series advances. There are 6 non-alumni teams that are playing in Las Vegas. Their winner meets the alumni winner for $2 million at the end of TBT. A very pleasant good afternoon, everybody, wherever you may be. Welcome to our coverage of TBT. Bob Rathman, the winningest coach in Notre Dame history, Mike Bray. What could be better, Michael, to get the juices flowing than this? 2 fan bases that, quite frankly, don't like each other.
2 of the best fan bases in the history of college basketball. They get to hate on each other maybe for 3 games in July, so it's electric in here today.
And we've got it for you. A lot of recognizable names and great competition. Welcome to TBT for 2026. When we come back, we'll meet today's starting lineups and tip it off. It's the red against the blue. Louisville and Kentucky, TBT style. It's all coming up right after this. Not many empty seats here at Memorial Coliseum as we get set for game one of this best-of-3 series. We'd like now to welcome in the 3rd member of our team. Back with us on TBT, over to Jen Hale.
Bob, you and Mike talked about the rivalry between these 2 universities. Believe you me, that spills over into TBT just as much. These 2 alum squads know each other well and dislike each other very much. Last meeting between these 2 teams ended in a bench-clearing brawl. Louisville's Russ Smith put up a career high in points. Kentucky's Willie Cauley-Stein a career high in boards. Now the Wildcat alums triumphed, and today the Ville is out for revenge with their high-potency offense. But this Kentucky squad is retooled from last year. They're younger, they're more athletic, quite possibly the best defensive team in this tournament. And as you guys mentioned, this almost sold-out home crowd certainly going to help BBN.
What an atmosphere. It's crazy, but that's what you would expect with Louisville and Kentucky for sure. The coaches, you just saw John Hood on the Kentucky bench, and for the Ville alums, Michael Baffour, who's a high school head coach and doing quite well at North Hardin, won 26 games last year. They guide the fortunes of these 2 teams. Let's meet the starting lineups for these 2 squads. And for the Ville, One of the big names on the lineup, Mike, is Montrezl Harrell. He and Willie Cauley-Stein should have a great matchup in the middle.
I'm so interested to watch Montrezl Harrell. The lanes are tighter. These are the college lanes. His power body can post up deeper, and Willie Cauley-Stein is a rim runner and a shot blocker, and this is his last swan song.
He has said that this is it. He's retiring as an active player after TBT, and you know he would like nothing more than to beat Louisville alums one more time.
You know, these players are such royalty to their fan bases, and for their fans to be able to come back and see them, it's really refreshing, and this format is just amazingly powerful.
And all this moves to Freedom Hall on Monday. But today it's Lexington. And the opening tip controlled by La Familia, the Kentucky alums. This is Andrew Harrison. Works off the screen. The lob is good. And there it is, Willie Cauley-Stein, a set play right out of the gate.
The old rim roll by Willie Cauley-Stein. You know, easy to talk in a scouting report, hard to defend.
Now the Ville. They lost, as Jen mentioned, at Freedom Hall to the Kentucky alums 2 years ago. They want some revenge, but a turnover starts their day. Off the screen, Marcel, off and off. The Ville with the rebound. Chris Jones wears number 3. Of course, for fans of these two teams, they remember when they were 17, 18, 19 years old coming into the program. They're grown men, many with families, all professional players for long standing. Knocked out, 10 on the shot clock.
Interesting to watch Kentucky with Marcel and Harrison, big guards. They have really good sized guards.
Here's that lob to Cauley-Stein. And right to the rack for the Ville goes David Johnson. A Louisville player as recently as 2021. A little bit of a feeling out process here.
I think they're feeling each other out a little bit. Watching Kentucky's practice yesterday, a lot of NBA kind of 5-out, zoom kind of action and movement, and a great look there by Harrison.
Second chance opportunity. Back to Andrew at the top. It's odd not to see Aaron out there with him.
It is. Remember those two together.
Coffee. Jones on the wing. Now David Johnson. Didn't want to deal with Cauley-Stein. Long bomb by Trey Lewis. He ended his career at Louisville after playing against Louisville as a member of Cleveland State back in the day.
One of those guys that got his reps at a mid-major and came on up and delivered at the highest level as well.
5-2 for the Louisville alums. Little floater. And you can see it's starting to get a little physical in the lane.
You talked about this all week, the physicality in this tournament. The referees have a full-time job today.
Yes, they do. Jay Withers with the foul. Johnson wanted no part of Cauley-Stein.
It's a great kick out there.
Yes, it is. And Lewis, a great shooter.
Drive and kick, you know, just a great principle to drive and kick out. And if you can make shots early, boy, that gets you going. The Kentucky coach had a great line yesterday. He said, hey, the team that's most awake at noon is probably going to win. So let's make sure we're awake at noon.
Andrew Harrison has been a TBT veteran. This is his 3rd straight tournament. Averaged 8.7 a game last year. Of course, part of some of Kentucky's greatest teams of recent vintage.
And him and his brother were really 2 solid college guards. You know, it's a big, skilled, knew how to play, feel for the game, make shots. Just had a great career.
Harrell has been a force in TBT for the Louisville alums. Intercepted. Marcel gains control, now plays it back. Maynard Bell for 3.
The Villanova guy knocks one down.
He's an honorary Kentuckian today.
Yeah, he is.
7-5. Jones up and in. They'll give him the basket, I do believe, and a foul.
Jen made a great point at the open about Kentucky's defense. They do have the ability to really athletically get out and guard you, and they forced some turnovers already.
Chris Coffey commits the foul, and Chris Jones to the line for an and one. Chris has played a lot of TBT. This is his 3rd straight and 4th overall. Great scorer at Louisville. The 4th leading scorer in the 13 through 15 range. High school legend out of Memphis.
One of those guards that can just get places on the court with the dribble and then can make shots.
Harrison steps into a 3. Rebound belongs to Cauley Stein. Underway with game 1 of a best of 3. Corner 3 is short. Harrell rebounds. The only red you see in this building are the 5 guys on the floor.
I was wondering what the Louisville fan base, I think they're waiting on Monday night. There's no question about it.
Lewis to the glass.
Beautiful footwork. One thing about these guys, they all have repped footwork and skill level and feel for the game.
A good pressure out front on Maynard Bell. Boy, that was Chris Jones getting right in his kitchen. And the lay-in is good.
Strong guard out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Darryl Morcell. How could he possibly have turned you down to go to Maryland and not Notre Dame?
I gained 10 pounds because there was a crab cake place next to his high school, and he still went to Maryland. Unbelievable. But strength, power, and he's playing some point guard now with these guys. So this is exciting.
And he played point guard for his pro team in Iceland last winter.
And this is what Louisville's trying to do post Montrez. They're trying to get him down there. And he, as I said, Bob, he's close to the bucket with this college lane. He's been playing in the NBA in the FIBA lane, and it's wider.
The foul on Andrew Harrison. And you don't see, with the evolution of the game, that back to the basket post-up from the 5-man much anymore.
To see a screen to get a big guy a post touch is almost non-existent in the NBA now, and not much in college anymore. I just thought it was always a great principle, and when you have someone like Montrez, you want to get him low post touches before you take any kind of shot.
Subs coming in, and here is Russ Dickulus for Louisville. Russ Smith checking into the game. He has taken ownership of the Ville franchise. And Russ trying to get this thing back on track. They were bounced out in the 2nd round last year. That didn't go over too well. A very proud alumni team. And Russ promises to get the Ville back. Second shot good by Montrezl Harrell. 9-8 Kentucky. Chris Coffey, man to keep your eye on. He's instant offense. Runner off the mark by Whitney. Now we got a foul coming on Kentucky for a push.
Crashing. Yeah, got him a little bit, but the crashing of the offensive boards has become such a principle that's being stressed. Defensive balance is almost out the window. Everybody crashed, especially on 3-point shots. It's so interesting to watch that dynamic. In the summer league, the Memphis bench, when they shot a 3, yelled crash in unison to their teammates on the court. That's how much they've stressed it, and we've stressed it a lot, as you know, in Atlanta.
The foul was on Chris Coffey. That's his 2nd.
Russ Smith is in great shape, man. He just looks great. And I'm breaking out a little bit of a sweat because I had to deal with him a lot over the years.
Yes, you did.
I had to deal with him.
A 5 overtime game comes to mind between Louisville and Notre Dame. 9-8 Kentucky.
There's that post up for Montrez.
Smith missed the 3, but Harrell unchecked on the glass.
That is going to be a workout for someone with Kentucky to have to keep Montrez off the glass all night.
Marcel gives it up, and a 3 ball from the corner. Perfect. What a shot by Andrew Harrison.
Great dot drive and kick by Daryl Marcel.
Johnson. Marcel right down the middle. Harrison, a rhythm bounce. Smith the rebound. Rush driving on McNeil. Up and in.
How about that footwork? He is just a beautiful basketball player with the footwork and the skill level.
And you see why Rick Pitino named him Rusticulous.
It is a great name, and to Rick Pitino's credit, he let him play. He did not overcoach him.
Coffee going up. Yeah. Tough shot through the contact. And that brings us to a timeout. We have 2 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in our opening quarter, and as tough and tight as we thought it would be, all even at 12 early in Lexington. We are back in Lexington, Kentucky. Great to have you with us for TBT. Jen Hale, I understand there's a late addition to the Ville.
Indeed, Bob. Reinforcements arriving just in time for Louisville. Big man Malik Williams is here. He just stretched out behind the bench. He tells me he's ready to go. He's been at Summer League with the Bulls. And guys, get this. He flew in this morning to Louisville, landed. His brother rushed him here, about an hour and a half drive, because there was no way he was going to miss this. He played on last year's TBT team, and he loves it. Certainly the Ville can use him today.
Bryson Graham is the new general manager of the Chicago Bulls, and we'll tell him we'll take good care of him the next 2 weeks at TBT.
And, you know, we saw him up close with the College Park Skyhawks, and what shocked me was how he shoots it from the three-point line as a big guy.
Chris Coffey at the line. A Louisville native who played collegiately at Georgetown. Played internationally in Turkey. And this guy's been around TBT for quite some time. This one's going to be tipped out, and the Louisville alums will have it. But Chris Coffey's played in 5 different TBTs, and then last summer he was with Sideline Cancer. That's the team that knocked the Ville out. And so they said, you know, why don't you play for us instead? And Chris Coffey gets back in TBT with La Familia. So if you can beat Louisville, you're good with us.
I tip my cap to the Georgetown coach. They kept him all 4 years. Nobody stole him. I give him a lot of credit, but he is a man and a pro and knows how to play.
Well, Chris Coffey was at Georgetown here in the state of the Commonwealth of Kentucky from 15 to 20. So there's a little prior to the craziness of today.
Yeah, you're right. There's a good question. The NIL money was not thrown in his face, but it would have been.
To the foul line, Chris Jones. That gets things even at 13. Last foul on Andrew Harrison, so he picks up 2. Late first quarter. Morcell coming back in.
They got to be careful with that because Harrison and Morcell have to be their ball handlers.
Right.
And they got to make sure they don't. They got to stay on the floor.
38-year-old DeAndre Liggins has just checked in for the Kentucky alums. 14-13. Great block. Jalen Johnson with the rejection. And this is out of bounds and will belong to the Kentucky alums. How about Jalen Johnson, the 29-year-old, getting up and with an emphatic block.
Great rotation and timing on that by him.
He was such a great shot blocker in college. 14-13. Morcell off the bounce.
These teams have been together a week, but you know they've put their stuff in. They've got their sets.
Russell, ball fake and the left-hander.
That's ridiculous right there. I was waiting on it. I knew I was going to get it, but that's ridiculous right there.
And he comes up with the steal. 3 on the way is good. Chris Jones and the Louisville alums have their biggest lead at 6.
They're getting out in transition, Bob. They're getting down the floor and getting looks. And
turnover. Jones, nice fake to get around McNeil, and then he throws it away. Liggins.
Kentucky needed that one. They're bleeding a little bit. They needed that one.
Shot clock is off. Final 20 seconds of the quarter. For the Ville. Smith now will orchestrate. And a foul. Now this is one of Russ's patented moves, getting into the lane and making magic.
There it is. There it is. Great footwork. Runners. Oh, unbelievable. And then big time pass cross court, finding a wide open shooter. His impact on the game in that little window right there. I can tell he's one experienced basketball player. Right now, the Louisville guards are really playing well. Smith and Jones have kind of controlled this thing.
And it is Chris Jones at the line as the Kentucky alums have gone into the penalty on their 5th team foul of the first quarter. 9-minute quarters in TBT. Played under the jurisdiction of NCAA rules with a few alterations for TBT and a FIBA goaltend rule, not in effect on free throws, but in regular play you can go get it after it hits the rim, but we rarely see that because the guys just aren't used to it. It's illegal practically everywhere else. except Ville. Here's Jones at the line.
These guys towing up a three-point shot at a shorter line is almost like it's gravy for them right now. They're like, man.
Hello. For the Ville, Jay Withers. 21-15. 6.4. Familia coming up. Liggins frees himself, takes it up, and a foul. With 1 second left in the quarter.
Liggins has always been that driving, slicing. Here he is. I mean, just putting his head down, aware of the clock, and making the official make a call. But that was his game. Driving, slashing, getting fouled.
And Mike, you made the point earlier about the teams being together to practice as a unit for just a week. And that sounds kind of strange. But remember, these guys are all pros. They all know how to play the game. They all know how to play pick and roll. So it's very easy for them to come together on short notice and be a cohesive unit.
And I think the coaches have done a great job giving them, here's a couple things we want to run. Here's our looks. Here's our sets. Defensively, hey, let's switch everything. It's simple. Now go play basketball. These guys are men. They've played together. And they also know there's $2 million on the line.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to guard when there's $2 million. Everybody's in a stance when there's $2 million on the line.
Second shot for Liggins. Rattles home. 21-17. The horn sounds. The shot by Johnson is late, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Underway with TBT 2026, and what a matchup from Lexington. The Ville, La Familia, Kentucky, Louisville, separated by 4 after 1. Oh, the history and tradition of historic Memorial Coliseum. It opened in 1950. and served as the home of the Kentucky Wildcats men's basketball team until 1976. When this building opened in 1950, it was the largest arena in the South at that time. And of course, the Baron of the Bluegrass, Adolph Rupp, 2 national championships here in 1951 and 1958. And when he retired in 1972, college basketball's all-time winningest coach.
Was at practice here yesterday morning. It was kind of quiet, and you almost felt like his ghost is in this place still.
Yes.
You know, the memories. How about the recruiting that guy did? I mean, he could recruit a little bit. You look at the players he got back in the day.
Second quarter begins. Louisville with the ball and up 4. Teams starting to settle in to the flow of the game just a bit here. And the pull-up by Trey Lewis rims out. Here comes Daryl Morcell. Second go-round with the Kentucky alums for Morcell. 3rd TBT overall. Sean McNeil hasn't had a look yet, but he's a 3-point marksman. Banks this one in.
That's a scoring guy, right? Try to get him some looks.
He's been in the G League the last couple of years. Cleveland Charge. Withers in and out. Kentucky alums tie it on the beautiful reverse.
Great strength by Daryl Morcell. Was able to take advantage of Jones being a little bit of a smaller guard, and Jones may be a little tired now too. He's been doing a lot for Louisville.
Withers. Familia really starting to seize a little control here.
I'm not sure if Louisville liked those last 2 shots.
Spin move by Morcell and around Montrezl Harrell.
He's in great shape, got great strength. He squares those shoulders up on you in the lane. The only way to deal with him is fouling.
And we've seen him as the ball handler and scorer, but he's also a terrific defender. Johnson rejected. Morcell and a foul is called. Wiping out an incredible block. Yeah. It's an offensive foul.
Oh, yeah. Daryl just getting down there and great strength to finish and to step in and take a charge. We got the block shot and we got the charge. Great rotation by the Kentucky alum defense.
So it's David Johnson with the offensive foul. Kentucky's gone up by 2, 23-21.
Their physical defense is taking its toll a little on Louisville the last couple minutes.
McNeil. Yeah. There's that 3-point shot. That's what made him a household name in West Virginia. 26-21 and a timeout for the Ville.
Some guys just have one of those beautiful strokes, and he's one of them, man.
And bridging the 2 quarters, we have an 11-0 Kentucky run.
And I think a big part of it was their defense. Kentucky defensively is starting to really wear Louisville down a little bit.
We're going to take a break with our score. Kentucky on top by 5.
21 here at TBT as Kentucky and Louisville square off. That score thanks to an 11-0 run by the Wildcats. And that was their plan all along, to use defense to create offense. Mike, Bob, I was listening in on that Louisville huddle. They're going to try to do some zone defense now to disrupt this Kentucky offense. We'll see if that can have some sort of effect on stopping the bleeding.
You got to you have to do something different to change the rhythm. But Daryl Morcell right now is confident in the paint. And can you just jam it in with some zone and maybe change the rhythm? But great ball screen, re-screen, and if he gets a little bit of a look, it's going down. Kentucky picking up full court. They're not going to let up. They're just going to keep the ball pressure on these guys.
So what's the antidote for Louisville?
Well, can you get I'd love to see a ball screen in the backcourt just to loosen up Jones a little bit so he can get it across. They haven't been able to feed the post much at all. They've been looking, and they're there. They go high-low a little bit.
Johnson's trying to get it in there, but the Kentucky alums all over Harrell. He does get the touch, an immediate double team, spin move, and a miss. That's great defense.
That's just great defense, and that's a tough shot. That's really a tough shot. They played him with one guy, and then they're off in transition a little bit now, so they've got Louisville on their heels.
Liggins misses the three. Jalen Johnson the rebound. Kentucky by 5. This is game 1 of a best-of-3 series. Johnson. Louisville hasn't hit a shot yet in this quarter. 0 for 4.
I really thought they'd get to the offensive board a little bit more, but
McNeil misses. Stick back, no. Rebound to David Johnson. Lewis trying to break the drought here.
It's just great defense.
Active hands, and they create the steal.
Was talking to a TBT coach, and he said to win it, you need junkyard dogs. And you know what? That's how Kentucky's playing defense right now.
Maynard Bell drains a 3, and it's an 8-point game. Honorary Wildcat.
Honorary Wildcat is delivering.
As Mike said, he played at Villanova last 4 years professionally in Japan. 29-21. And again, look at the activity. Maynard Bell coming around Harrell to knock that ball away. Now, this is the pressure you're talking about, Mike.
It's just, you know, their stance, they're active. Liggins is built to play defense in this game with his length and hands. You got Cauley Stein on the other side. There's just no room. And then they come down and have a numbers advantage. Louisville's exhausted right now. They look a little bit tired, and they really need a lift here before half.
29-21 Kentucky. Louisville puts the ball into the hands of Russ Smith, trying to break a 14-0 run, and that was a 9-1-1 emergency 3 at the end of the shot clock.
Louisville's they've looked to post up almost a little too much now. And they've kind of got tunnel vision, throwing it in there, and there's no room. And if they could get some stops and get out in transition like they did the first 5 minutes of the game, they could close this thing before half, feel a little better.
So Michael Baffour, the head coach of the Ville, trying to get his ball club on track. McNeil misses. 4:10 in the second quarter. The Kentucky Alumni by 8, playing in front of the home crowd here at the historic Memorial Coliseum. Jones for 3. In and out and back in. They needed that one desperately.
Needed that one bad. That stops the bleeding a little bit.
5-point game and ball pressure by Chris Jones. Coffee on the handoff. McNeil fires. Automatic.
That dribble handoff when he's coming off, I think you better switch that. If he gets any kind of clean look, it's going down.
Smith for three. Rebound to Malik Williams. Johnson. 8-point ball game. Kentucky looking for more. Lay-in, no, but a foul.
Kentucky's doing such a great job of keeping pressure on the rim with drives, and they are just attacking the lane and the basket repeatedly. This is again, you got to dribble. You got to be up on that. You got to be up on that dribble handoff on him a little bit more, and probably switch it, because he just got too great a stroke.
Alex Matthews putting Chris Coffey on the foul line. 29 years old. A Louisville native. Was the 2020 NAIA National Player of the Year for Georgetown College Tigers. They went 32 that year. We talked about Coffey. He's done such great work in TBT. And he would love to see the finish line and get a nice fat check at the end of the line.
I'm so impressed with him. And again, I'm kind of sentimental that he stayed at Georgetown for all 4 years, became the Player of the Year, and has had really a nice pro career.
This is his 15th all-time game in TBT. He was really strong in Turkey. Last pro stop. 32-24.
Talking to most of these guys, by around August 10th, they've got to get back to their teams across the pond.
And this is a good way to get ready for training camp. Jones with a spinorama. What do you think about the Ville shot selection right now?
They're to the point where if Russ or Jones don't create something, they're really struggling to get a look. And they almost have to keep forcing and getting in there a little bit, because there's really not another option right now.
Johnson on the reverse.
That's the first easy bucket Louisville's gotten in a while. Kentucky's defense has been so good.
Nice.
A scoring guy.
Off the bounce for Whitney.
The summer before his senior year in high school, he was unbelievable on the AAU circuit. Leo Whitney just put on a show.
Now 25 years old, played in China last season. Williams lost the handle, knocked away, but it will be Louisville ball as Trey Lewis comes back in for the Louisville alums. Right off the bounce for Whitney.
He's just one of those guys that can score, and he's a mid-range guy. He's just one of them old throwback mid-range guys.
Nothing wrong with that mid-range shot.
Nothing. We'll take those.
As I try to tell everybody, yes, 3 is better than 2, but 2 is better than 0.
You got to get something, right, Bob? Now, the one thing Louisville's doing, and they've got some size in the game, and Malik's playing, is getting to the offensive board. Get to the offensive board, and this is just a powerful move. But they've got to crash, and that's the one way they can hang in there and have a chance of winning this game.
Whitney with the swipe across the face. And this will put Jalen Johnson on the line. Played for the Cards from 14 to 17. Now 29 years old, playing in his first TBT with the Louisville alums, second overall. Well, lots of stops. And you look at these guys' pro careers overseas. Boy, they see the world. Philippines, Taiwan, Turkey. My goodness.
It really is amazing, all the different places some of these guys have played. And they're ready to roll in another couple of weeks.
Foul on the drive. And Andrew Harrison back in, will visit the stripe.
Andrew, like Daryl Morcell now, getting into the lane and putting pressure on Kentucky's defense. They've been in that lane a lot, and too much for Louisville to withstand.
Malik Williams with the foul. Here's Andrew Harrison, currently playing in Germany. He was the guy who 2 years ago at Freedom Hall hit the Elam ender that ousted the Ville. He said he didn't lose to him in college either. He said, I've never lost to him, and I don't plan on starting now.
That's what's so cool about this Elam ending. It's always a walk-off, man.
Yes.
It's always a walk-off. Those are the things these guys did in their backyard and in the playground working out. 3, 2, 1, counting it down and firing one.
Lewis, we're down to a minute 11 in the first half. Kentucky's post defense today has been tremendous.
Fabulous defense. There
No
goes
good by Smith.
That's the way they'll survive, because the first shot's going to be hard. Just keep crashing.
Jalen Johnson. And we have a timeout with 57.3. We'll keep it here with Kentucky's lead now at 5. And if you're saying, hey, what are those guys talking about, that Elam ending? Well, this has been a part of TBT for over a decade. And you see what will happen here as we get to the fourth quarter. We'll play the first 5 minutes, and then the first dead ball under 4 on the clock. The game clock is shut off at that point. And what happens is a target score is established. And we get that by adding 8 points to the team that's in front. And so if the game were to end, say right now, we would add 8 points to Kentucky's score, put it at 43, and that would be the score they would play to. So that happens in the fourth quarter. The shot clock continues, but we will not have a game clock. And so every TBT game for years and years ends on a made basket. It could be a 3, a 2, a foul shot, but it will end on a made basket. It is a wonderful way to end a basketball game and a TBT staple.
How about we lobby the NBA to use that during the regular season and overtime?
I think that would be a fantastic idea, and so does Dr. Nick Elam, who created it.
Maybe they're listening.
35-30. Harrison wide open.
After timeout, great execution. Coach drew one up, and they get a clean look. Beautiful.
38-30, the Kentucky alums. 20 on the shot clock. Backing up, Smith, air ball. Williams one-hands a rebound after being held. Johnson rattles in a big 3.
Offensive rebounding, keeping them alive.
38-33. Shot clock is off. Approaching halftime in Lexington, Kentucky. Harrison. He's got to go. 4, 3. Harrison up, and it drops. And it's an and one with 0.6 of a second. Andrew Harrison getting the love of the crowd.
Did a great job getting the mismatch with a ball screen. Here it is, and then just took advantage of it after the ball screen and the big guy on him.
Jalen Johnson helpless to stop him, and that pushes the Kentucky lead to 7, maybe 8, with just 0.6 of a second showing. Harrison finishes the three-point play. 41-33, full court pressure. And that will fall short. And Kentucky, Mike Bray, with a very impressive first half.
Very impressive. Amazing defense. Active, athletic, getting to the lane. And actually, Louisville is lucky to be down 8. Because, you know, they should go in and say, it's 8. It could be 15, quite frankly. And they've got to crash, stay crashing the board. And Russ and got to get going in the second half.
Let's send it over to Jen.
Thanks, Bob. Here with Coach John Hood. Coach, you wanted your defense to lead the way, and since the second quarter, it has been stifling. What have you liked best about it?
We're in passing lanes. We're in passing lanes. We got to do a better job of rebounding the ball, and we've given up probably 8-10 second chance points. And, I mean, that can't happen. It cannot happen. So that'll be something we talk about. But, I mean, DeAndre Liggins was great coming in the game with defense, which I told you yesterday. That's our guy. He sparked that.
Yesterday, you also told me you thought this would be the best defense in the tournament. What's your evaluation now that you've gotten to see him out on the court?
Well, we're 18 minutes in. We got guys that are tired. It's a long tournament, but trying to get the first one done. So far we've done well.
Thanks. Best of luck second half.
Thank you.
Bob.
Jim, thank you. We've reached the break in Lexington. Historic Memorial Coliseum, TBT, back on Fox. And what a matchup. Kentucky 41, Louisville 33 at the break.
This best of 3 series will take place on Monday night at 7 p.m. at Great Hall and live on FS1. The winner of this best of 3 series will host the winner of Syracuse Alumni and Seton Hall Alumni on Sunday, July 26th. Visit TBTHoops.com to keep up with all of the action.
We welcome you back to Kentucky. We're at the half with the Kentucky Alums up 41-33. And you see some outstanding shooting from Khalil Whitney as the Kentucky Alums won that second quarter by a dozen, 24-12 to lead by 8. More after this. If you need a rebound, call this guy. Oscar Schweboy is just a hero among heroes here in Lexington. The former consensus National Player of the Year for the Wildcats, led the country in rebounding 2 different seasons. He's here to watch TBT. Oscar Schweboy, one of the all-time greats for Kentucky. This is the alumni side of the 2026 TBT bracket. These are all best-of-3 series that begin here today in Lexington and will continue over the next couple of weeks for TBT. There are 6 teams in a non-alumni bracket. Their winner will come to play the alumni winner for the $2 million first prize. When we come back, the second half is straight ahead. Harrison and company ready to take an 8-point lead into the third. Kentucky 41, Louisville 33 as we start the third quarter here in Lexington. Bob Rathman, Mike Bray back with you. The Kentucky alums, Mike, shot the ball extremely well. Sean McNeil came off the bench and gave them a huge lift.
Big time lift, and when you let a shooter get going, and he makes a really tough one to get himself started, right? This is pretty good defense. Step through and banks it. Now he's feeling good. And now you've woken up the echoes, so to speak. He comes off a dribble exchange. They don't switch, and he gave him a great lift. Certainly, you know, for Louisville, Russ, you just love his footwork is beautiful. It's a guy who's played so much basketball. He shoots a runner left-handed from 10 feet. And this is a great pass by a guard who knows how to play. Right across the court, Jones clean three. Louisville's got to stay on that offensive board to have a chance.
And that really was the big key as you look at our first half stats. The Ville had 7 offensive rebounds, and they turned them into 9 second chance points.
And they weren't on the backboard in the first quarter at all. And now all of a sudden, you know, Malik's eligible. He came out of the tunnel like Willis Reed and and got on the backboard, and their size, they've got to do that. I don't think they've ever even been able to get in their zone because Kentucky's got down the floor so fast. So let's see if they maybe try and get in it some in the second half.
Kentucky alums in white, Louisville alums in red. Third quarter begins. Of course, the Elam ending. Ready for the fourth quarter. Oh, that's a blocking foul. A block on Chris Jones.
I like the call. That's probably the Euro flop that he used, and he gets away with it wherever he plays. But not enough there for a charge.
Free throws coming as we have a chance to check in with Jen.
Well, Bob, the point of emphasis for this Louisville defense this half is going to be trying to take away that three. Coach Michael Bafford says they were just really way too laissez-faire in that first half, allowing the Wildcats to shoot 60% from deep. Indeed, you can't do that when you're playing professionals, right? And in talking to Russ Smith, he thinks the key to evening this thing up is to get that offense moving more. Move the ball, share the ball, speed up this Kentucky defense if possible.
It's a great point, Jen. They have been stagnant. You know, it's been, you know, Chris Jones or Russ trying to create and going into a lot of wingspan defensively. Can they swing it a little bit and then drive it and make a play?
A double-digit lead for the Kentucky alums. The largest lead of the day. Lewis had it rejected. No basket and no shot. The foul out front on La Familia. This one will be charged to James Maynard-Bell. Side out, rather out of bounds underneath for the Ville. Knocked away. Last touch to by Harrell. Kentucky alums have it.
They have absolutely bought into defending, and they've got length and body types to make it. The court seems small for Louisville when they spread out in their stance.
And Harrell has been rendered ineffective.
Hasn't been able to get much done at all. Get on the offensive board, Montrez. That's where you can make a difference.
Harrell had 3 points in that first half. And Montrez Harrell is a guy that last season averaged 23 a game in TBT. Jalen Johnson to the line on the foul by Maynard-Bell.
Kentucky's length has really taken away even sight lines to feed the post to Montrez. I mean, they can't even get a look in there.
They switched the foul to Coffey, so that will be his third. You get 6 in TBT. No free throws, just out of bounds, and another turnover.
It's really hard to feed him with the ball pressure and the length on you, and I don't know if you're gonna have to think differently.
But Mike, he's such a big factor for Louisville. Yeah. How can they get him going?
Yeah. Do you start with a ball screen and roll him, and then, but you gotta sell him on just crash the heck out of the offensive boards for the next 4 minutes and see if we can open it up a little bit.
Errant pass.
Better defense by Louisville there. Better.
Ten-point lead. As you look at the Ville's head coach, Michael Bafford. To the top, Lewis, ball fake. Ville saves the possession, shot clock at 10. Backing up, Jones, no. Sean McNeil, here's a lob inside, and that goes off the hands of Cauley-Stein out of bounds.
Great thought. Size down there, throw it up to him. Willie's made a lot of those plays in his day.
Johnson driving. And fouled by Cauley-Stein.
They just didn't have matchups there. That's unfortunate. They didn't have matchups, but anything Louisville can get to try and spark a little momentum. It's a great, strong drive. And he had a head and shoulders head start because the matchup communication was a little messed up.
David Johnson in his third TBT, now 25 years old, high school star at Trinity, won a state title here in Kentucky as a high school player, and might remember one of his shining moments at Louisville, a 19-7 assist game and an upset of Duke in 2021.
You know, I always had an assistant who was in charge of matchups, so I had someone to yell at when they were screwed up.
43-35. La Familia with the lead. Harrison. And that's a travel. He left the floor.
He was trying to get Willie to roll a little quicker, and Willie got held up.
Louisville alums trying to scrap back in at just the fourth turnover for Kentucky. Third quarter, there's Harrell. And nothing doing.
I mean, you couldn't have executed any better, and that's just deflating. But they got it in there. They screened for him and got his guy off him a little bit. He got a deep touch, and he had a layup. Hang in there, man. Hang in there. That was right there.
Montrez comes out of the game in favor of Malik Williams. Here's Morcell. Hand off for Harrison. Cauley-Stein rolls. Can't get it to him. And I think a foul on Malik Williams for the push. No, they say Chris Jones instead.
On the pass, right? Got him on the pass. Like you said early, great look.
Johnson, cross court. David Johnson over the top and out of bounds.
Heck of an out of bounds look down there, right? The guys fall asleep, they throw ahead.
Yeah. Better cover this guy. Gets his own miss and lays it home. Sean McNeil.
That's tough luck.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on the Ville.
Big play. Big play. Put your chest in front and take that.
And you made a great comment earlier, Mike, about La Familia. They have bought into playing defense.
They are guarding great look. Willie Cauley-Stein on a roll. Man, he's been doing that for a living. But there's no question, Coach sold them yesterday at practice. He's selling them on defense, and we're switching this and, you know, really emphasize their length and their athletic ability to get out on the ball. And we've seen a clinic, really, today defensively. It's hard to play against them. It's really hard.
The Ville in the first half, the Louisville alums were just 4 of 17 from deep.
And none of those shots came up in a very good rhythm. You know, and it's because the ball pressure, and they're picking up Jones and Russ way out here at half court, and everything's pushed out.
And contact. Cauley-Stein with the offensive rebound, and He gets hammered by Malik Williams.
Willie said, I got a few more rebounds in me. This might be my last dance, but I can still go to the offensive boards. He told me yesterday, going to retire, and he's going to move back to Lexington. And, of course, he is royalty in this town.
He has done such a great job coming back and reconnecting with the Kentucky community. He's really been one of their, if not their best player in TBT. It means a lot to him. Get back out there one more time in front of these great fans.
He's kind of been the glue to the whole thing, but he's a little banged up right now. I think he did that ankle. Let's keep an eye on him.
Williams. And it's knocked away. Carson Williams got the rebound, but in going back up, his shot blocked away. Carson played at Northern Kentucky and Western Kentucky.
Well, Carson's got the body to get on the offensive boards with those shoulders. And
now, I believe we have a technical foul on the Ville.
Did they get the assistant on the end of the bench or a player? He pointed to the end of the bench. We got to see that.
Sean McNeil, who was lights out as a foul shooter in college, of course, right on cue, misses it. Let's see what happened on the bench. Ed Crenshaw has heard enough, and I guess that's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
That's what it looked like. We'll find out from the official.
And on the out-of-bounds play, Carson Williams gets that jam.
A screen and a slip. Great out-of-bounds execution by Louisville.
46-37. 5:10 in the third. Boy, they are banging bodies in that paint. And on the drive, a foul on the Bills, David Johnson. That's 5 team fouls on the Ville. So to the foul line goes Darryl Morsell.
Carson Williams has actually come in for Louisville and given them a little bit of a lift and energy. They're just searching for somebody to give them a lift.
Right now, the Ville has Smith and Jones in the backcourt. Johnson, fairly big wing. And then the two bigs trying to find a combination that clicks.
Trying to find something that's working together.
And we've got a foul on the drive by David Johnson. Nobody here like that call.
I think that's a good call. Let's take a look. Did he rake him across the top of the head and the arm? That's a good call.
Maybe the off arm.
It's a good call. Yeah. Great, strong drive. Body
on the head. Too.
I think there's enough physicality there where you got to protect the shooter.
Wouldn't need the personal. That's his second.
Of course, Bob, in that old NBA that you got started with, they would just say, get up off the floor and get back.
They never made those calls in Rochester and Syracuse. David Johnson comes back to hit the second shot, 48-38. And I know we're just midway through the third quarter, but you've got to have that Elam ending in the back of your mind.
It's a great point, as you told me about it all summer. And all of a sudden, at 4 minutes, this whole thing changes. And for Louisville, they got to start getting this thing back within striking distance. But, it's a great example of Kentucky has imposed their will on the game, and that's why they're up 10 right now.
Louisville native Chris Coffey at the foul line. That second quarter was really the turning point.
Really was. Transition, open threes, and great defense by Kentucky.
Trey Lewis In for the Ville for Chris Jones. And for La Familia, Andre Liggins checks back in. Andrew Harrison to the bench.
You know, if you're Louisville and Liggins checks in, you go, I hope he ain't guarding me. Because that dude, he changed the whole first half with how he gets on people, and that's always been his role.
50-38, the Kentucky alums having their way with the Louisville alums here. And a turnover. That was McNeil from behind with the poke away. Liggins gives it up. Coffey kicks it out. McNeil is fouled. David Johnson got it going by.
You know, it's interesting to watch Louisville. Obviously, they really emphasize feeding the post, trying to get it down low. Certainly Montrez, but there's other bigs too, Malik. But when you're behind and you're trying to feed the post, that takes a lot of time. And now this clock is ticking, and I don't know if you can get this thing whittled down to striking distance with post feeds. So do you come out and you ball screen and you got to drive and kick and you got to hope you make some threes?
And I was just going to say, Mike, that three ball has not been there for him.
Hadn't been there at all.
Thus, a 14-point spread here at 52-38. The rematch will be Monday night at Freedom Hall. Will be on FS1 for that one. Game 2 of this best-of-3 series.
They opened up the floor there for a great drive. But, you know, I'm watching Liggins ride his hip, and he's got to shoot it over. Unbelievable wingspan just to get it up there.
33-year-old Trey Lewis ready at the foul line. Ohio native that first played at Penn State, then the bulk of his career at Cleveland State before finishing at Louisville on a 23-win team back in 15-16.
You think he broke Mouse McFadden's record? Remember that guy?
Mouse, yes.
He put it on Indiana that night, didn't he?
Yes, he did. 52-40. Marcel getting pressured. They run a double at him. Finds a cut behind the back. Three-pointer, good. Wow. What a shot by Whitney, and what a play.
What a great pass by Marcel. To see that, and just a great pass. They're moving the ball.
Take a look at this. The behind the back
Love it.
tees up Khalil Whitney, and Kentucky running away from Louisville. 55-40. Kentucky pulling away here with 39 to play in this third quarter. Spain faces the defending champion Argentina. The final is here tomorrow. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. with the pregame 3 p.m. to start the championship match of the World Cup 2026.
I got a sports bar in Louisville all lined up.
There you go. I love it. And I must say to our Fox colleagues, the coverage, ladies and gentlemen, has been absolutely spellbinding. The country has been in awe watching these last 5 weeks. Let's check in with Jen.
Bob, an extremely fired up and animated head coach Michael Baffer in that Louisville team huddle a few minutes ago. He really got on his team about being mentally tougher, not allowing this Kentucky team to get in their head, challenging them to answer and to dictate more of the game instead of letting the game be dictated to them.
Jen, that's a great point because they've got to change the flavor of this game.
It is so frustrating when you can't get into any rhythm offensively because a physical, athletic defense has pushed you to bad spot. They're 4 for 20 because they're never getting any shots in a comfortable spot from 3. And again, the credit goes to Kentucky because they have bought into just mauling you on D.
And the one advantage that Louisville had early was on the offensive glass. They have one offensive rebound in the second half.
It's the one time they had some light.
And a dunk for Khalil Whitney. 57-41. Nice show and go, but the pass is deflected out of bounds.
Whitney crashing from that 45-degree angle. That used to be a place where you say, get back on defense. And now you just go crash relentlessly. And it's an amazing offensive weapon.
57-41. Russ Smith flicks it in. Everything going Kentucky's way. Under 3 to play in the third. First of a best of 3. Morcell turnaround for 2. And a foul.
Big guards. Big guards. It's great action here. And then again, his strength and power and his ability today to handle the ball as the point guard and get into the lane and make plays, passing it and scoring. I think it's been a big, big factor for Kentucky.
3-point play for Darrell.
Great portal pickup for Kentucky.
Yes, exactly. 17-point lead. Lewis hooks it to the corner. Malik Williams. 10 on the shot clock. The Ville in desperation mode. And a foul. McNeil is going to send Chris Jones to the foul line.
Anything you can get to kind of keep it within striking distance. But it is an amazing way of thinking with this 4 minute in the fourth quarter, the whole thing changes. And how you really have to start picking up and pressing and thinking about your strategy at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you know, not near the end.
And the most points in TBT history that a team has come back from at the Elam ending to win is 10.
Wow.
I mean, you've got to get that thing down to 6 or 7 to give yourself a chance. But the two things that Louisville was looking for the most, their 3-point shooting, has not been a factor, and Kentucky's D has taken Montrezl Harrell right out of the game.
Really has. You've left Louisville with resorting to Jones and Smith putting their head down and even forcing plays because you got no other options. And maybe you get fouled, like right here. But a lot of times it's been a turnover or a missed shot, and here comes Kentucky back down the other way on a numbers advantage.
For the Ville, Alex Matthews comes in. Kentucky high school product, and then played collegiately in Odessa, Texas. Alex Matthews played D2 ball. 2 minutes to go. Third quarter. Whitney in and out. Follow. And Harrell comes up with the defensive board. 60-45 Kentucky. Nice fake, but bailed out on that late foul. Malik Williams did a lot of good things there, but could not get the shot to go.
Yeah, Malik had that one, and Montrez had one earlier. They get a post feed, and they couldn't convert. And it's so deflating. You know, you execute your stuff, you get it where you want to get it, and you don't get anything. But he at least got some free throws here.
1:40 left, third quarter. Andrew Harrison coming back out onto the floor for the Kentucky Alums.
The one thing Kentucky has is coach they got a nice little rotation. They're just rotating guys, you know, getting them a little bit of a blow. And it's a smaller nucleus of guys, but they're learning how to play together.
John Hood is the head man. You see him there, the former Kentucky guard.
He told me Coach Calipari in his final years of eligibility used to refer to him as coach because he would give insights for the bench and pull him aside. He said, I went into the private sector and the coaching bug called me back.
This game has a way to reel you back in.
Oh, boy, it does. And it beats a real job. I can tell you that much.
Coffin. Back door broken up by the Bills. Jalen Withers. Catch and shoot. Bomb from Smith as an air ball. Out of bounds. 1:07 in the third. Coming right at you, Alex Matthews.
Great defense. Again, great defense. And they've got Russ pushed way out on that shot.
Short clock for Harrison. Side saddle from the baseline. Offensive rebound. McNeil buried under the basket. Harrell all over him. Corner three is short. Rebound to the Ville. 30 seconds left in the third. Matthews kicks it out to Harrell. Shovels to the corner. Smith for three, and a huge three it is.
You get this thing to 10. All right. Okay. A little life. Got to guard here, though. Got to guard here.
7 seconds. 6. Maynard Bell. Deep three. Air ball. Ends the third period. Kentucky with a 10-point lead, but the Ville scrapping back into this game. The fourth quarter and the Elam ending coming up on TBT on Fox. With Jen Hale and Mike Gray, Bob Rathman back in Lexington, Kentucky. We start the fourth quarter of this opening game, and Louisville got back up off the deck, Mike, on that 7-0 run to end the quarter.
They were teetering on the edge, and let's give them credit. They defended, they made some free throws, and they showed a lot of life there. They're in this thing now.
It'll be the Ville with the possession to start the fourth quarter. Alex Matthews puts it in play, and here we go. We will have the game clock with us until we reach the 4-minute mark. Ooh, nice little hip check by Harrell to knock Coffee out of the way after he deflected the ball out of bounds. And get a little chippy.
Yeah. Trying to get that entry for him at the elbow, but again, Coffee's length, you can't, he's just denying the ball everywhere.
Elam ending at the 4-minute mark of the fourth with the target score established. Harrell for one of the few times in this game.
The beginning of the fourth quarter, we see kind of what they want to do, how they want to play. Not sure they're going to be able to live that way, though, the rest of the game. It's just too good a defense to deal with.
A 9-0 run for the Louisville alums. Harrison, tough shot, hit it. He should have been awarded a free throws.
It's a heck of a tough shot, but stop it. You didn't get fouled. Stop.
10-point game. Harrell again. Man. And a chuck by Morcell that flattened 6' to 7" Montrezl Harrell.
2 low post feeds in a row, a bucket, and now to the foul line.
It's a 10-point game. Generally speaking, in TBT, you'd like to have this thing no more than 6 or 7 in terms of point differential going to the Elam ending. Obviously, you'd like to have it even, but if you're going to be behind, 6 points, 7 points, about all you can make up, because the other team's not going. Generally speaking, there have been great comebacks in Elam ending history. But generally speaking, the other team's going to score a bucket or 2, and that really amps up the pressure. And you'll see it all when we get to the 4-minute mark. It's a great way to end a basketball game.
I just fell in love with it a couple years ago when they put it in, and it's, I mean, game winners to end it. That's your dream, man. I mean, this is doable for them, though. You know, if they can keep whittling this thing down, and then maybe Rusticulous hits a couple step backs and the whole atmosphere changes.
Yes. 62-53. Harrison defended by Alex Matthews. Shot clock at 10. Coffee now at the top. Morcell can hang on to it. And the Ville with an opportunity in transition. Harrell through 2 defenders, puts it in. And the strength of Montrezl Harrell on display, taking it right to the cup.
Fabulous defense they picked it up on the defensive end. Matthews' substitution has been a key. He's pressuring the ball, and you get a couple there and you're out in transition. All right.
A timeout for the Kentucky alums. That 17-point lead is a thing of the past. The Ville has cut it to 7. And just to refresh everybody's memory as we play game 1 of TBT 2026, the Elam ending rules have not changed. But just to review, we have the first dead ball under 4. And at that point in time, we shut off the game clock and established the target score by adding 8 points to the team's total that is in the lead. Tie game, you just add 8 points. And then play resumes without that game clock with the shot clock until one team hits that target score. And a couple of threes make a big difference.
And you mentioned that Professor Elam may be here or in Louisville.
We hope that he will come and join us. Lives in Dayton.
want to pick his brain on how he came up with this. This is so exciting.
Well,
and
you know,
interesting.
the origin of it, Mike, is he just, like a lot of college basketball fans, just got tired of the foul-a-thons at the end of games.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And there's no one-and-ones in TBT. You get to the Elam ending, and you got to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
You can't stall your way to the finish line. So here's Harrell really picking it up, Mike, when they needed him the most.
He's given him life. They've got him low post touches. He ran in transition and finished there. But
he's missed 2 big free throws.
Those are tough. You need those there.
Whew. Harrison, boy, great pressure. Matthews with the foul, but you identified that matchup.
I mean, he's been a great substitution. You have to try something. You're kind of dead in the water, and he is guarding. He's fresh. He's pushing them out a little bit. He started their defense improvement here to give him a chance.
He's got those young legs, Mike. He's only 24 years old.
He's only 24? He's a child compared to these guys, right?
7:10 on the game clock. 3 minutes until we get to the Elam ending. And this one's out of bounds and belongs to the Ville.
All right, Russ. All right, Russ. I'm feeling it's getting to be your time in the game.
Chris Jones. Matthews. Great cut. As Montrezl Harrell comes back to life in the 4th quarter. 5-point game. And it is a pensive crowd here at historic Memorial Coliseum. Poked away and a foul. Oh, Matthews thought he had the pick from behind. And here's that cut by Harrell.
Just a great cut. Elbow entry. And they're overplaying the heck out of him, so go back door. Go without it if you're being overplayed, because Coffey hasn't let him touch it anywhere.
Morcell off the bounce. Tipped into the hands of Jay Withers, and here comes the Ville. Russ Smith regains control, drives it, kicks it, and Williams off his fingertips.
Keep guarding, Louisville. Keep guarding. They've really defended and given themselves a chance.
62-57, a quick spurt to the basket. The shot rejected, but Morcell's going to the line.
Nothing like getting the ball in quick over there. Didn't have their matchups.
Get it and go. 3 team fouls on the Ville, 2 team fouls on La Familia. 6:07 on the game clock. That will be shut off in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Big free throws for Morcell. Point day with 4 boards for Darrell. Comes back to get free throw number 2. 63-57. John Hood and La Familia, they've seen a big lead melt away. Russ Smith tees it up, in and out with the 3. Harrell kept it alive for an instant. La Familia running. Nope. Coffey had it. He goes flying out of bounds, lost the dribble, and the Ville with it with 5:42 on the game clock.
Last time they brought Montrez up for a little ball screen for Russ. Got a great look. Got an offensive board opportunity. I think they're giving Russ a blow for the Elam. Just took him out a little bit.
6-point spread. Johnson hooks it back. Harrell for three. High archer, no. Game clock at 5:13. And a foul on Chris Jones.
Ball pressure has picked up. Harrison and Morcell being great with the ball to finish this going to be a key.
A minute 7 until the Elam ending. The start of the $2 million tournament. This is game 1 of a best-of-3 series. Monday night, Freedom Hall, Louisville. Morcell. Big boys go down hard, and the foul is called. They're going to call a jump. Coffey was in there. And that one was a very painful jump ball.
These are some men rebounding the basketball.
See Malik Williams. And Malik's got to get down to the other end. He was trying to walk off some of the pain. You see him coming into your screen right now. They couldn't inbound the ball without him. So he hustles back, and his Kentucky ball out of bounds. 20 on the shot clock. McNeil from the corner, no. Covered up, long bomb. That's short. Rebound to the Ville. David Johnson with 4:40 on the game clock. Johnson. Rebound to La Familia. Now they're going to have to shoot it before we get to the 4-minute mark. And a steal. Johnson's got it. On the bounce. The dunk for Alex Matthews. Cuts it to 4. Now the Kentucky alums can take this possession down under 4. Get a bucket. Shots missed, and here comes the Ville. 9 seconds, 8. Oh, and the pass thrown away. Jones trying to hit Matthews, and it goes out of bounds.
Tough luck. Tough luck.
Well, what a steal by David Johnson.
Yeah, the defensive pressure of Louisville has really changed.
Now the Kentucky alums come up. Next dead ball will set the Elam ending. And there it is. La Familia will take the timeout to set the score. So it's a 4-point affair and 8 points to Kentucky's score. We'll have it all for you when we come back after this. Elam ending time in Lexington. The target score has been established at 71. The first team to hit that mark wins the game. We have our immediate timeout under 4. So the game clock is off. The shot clock will continue. So Kentucky called a timeout. 21 seconds showing on this position when play resumes. Let's check in with Jen.
Bob, Kentucky's John Hood emphasizing paint touches for this Elam ending, not relying on the 3-ball. That is what killed Kentucky last year. They missed 8 threes in the Elam ending when cold is just the wrong time. He wants them to share this rock and get into that paint, use their physicality. It's awesome to watch him. This is his head coaching debut. He's already hoarse. He's sweating. He is into this.
Mike, you can appreciate that.
Oh, I've been there. But let's see what they do out of a timeout here, because he drew one up in the first half to get a clean 3. Let's see what they look like coming out of this.
La Familia 7 for 15 on threes for the game. The Ville 5 for 25. But it's a point well taken, Jen and Mike. You don't need threes. You just have to score. And Louisville sitting on 14 fouls as we start the Elam ending. Harrison.
Clean look.
Harrison hit the Elam ender against the Ville at Freedom Hall 2 years ago. 4-point ball game. But the target score is all that matters. Matthews in the corner, and what a job he has done off the Ville bench. Johnson got hip checked on the way by Maynard Bell. That's team foul number 3.
Coach has found something in Matthews. You know, watch on Monday night him get in a little bit earlier, because he changed the whole complexion with his ball pressure.
And then the arrival of Montrezl Harrell. They needed him.
They needed him. He got some post touches. He got on the offensive board.
Johnson, the basket. 61 for Louisville, 10 away from the target score.
That was a little different. They had Johnson handling up top instead of one of the guards.
And this is just a lost ball out of bounds. Boy, beautiful drive by David Johnson. Amazing how this game has flipped again. The Ville dominated the first quarter. Then it was all Kentucky in the second. They were up by 17 in the third. And now here comes Louisville. They've cut the overall score to 2, and they're 10 away. The Kentucky team is 12 away from winning it.
Johnson handling it up top more now.
Matthews to Harrell for the jam. And Louisville has tied the game at 63, and they are 8 points away. You can truly say now it's anybody's game. Morcell delivers.
That is a huge bucket. What a winning play.
6 points away. Johnson tips it. Up for grabs. La Familia running. Morcell slapped down. Another block. 2 great defensive plays, and this one's out of bounds.
How about Morcell getting that loose ball on that? I mean, just to come up with that, but the athletic ability and strength in this game. And they're letting them play, Bob.
Well, Malik Williams off the plane and into the fray. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Kentucky 6 points away. A 3 here would be huge if they could hit it. Maynard Bell has some room to operate against Harrell. Inside, the turn is good by Whitney.
Great pass. And he has a touch around mid-range.
Kentucky alums 4 points away. The Ville desperately needs a hoop right now. Chris Jones. Shot clock at 13. Jones on the drive. Jones gets to the rim. Louisville 6 away. And the Ville needs a stop. And we're going to have a blocking foul. On the drive by Chris Jones.
So impressed with the plays Daryl Morcell has made all night, and especially here with game pressure on him.
Boy. On the crash, he hit his head hard.
He really did. He really did.
Out of bounds. And remember, in the Elam ending, just one free throw brings Kentucky within 3 of the target score. Keep in mind, Kentucky hits a 3 right here, the game is over.
It's over.
Corner played back up top. Maynard Bell. Here's Harrison. Eight seconds on the shot clock. Maynard Bell with a floater. That cuts it to 1 on the target score. Kentucky, next time down, can win it.
A wrong foot runner. Very tough shot. What a great atmosphere, though, Bob.
Everybody at historic Memorial Coliseum standing. And you see the play to the corner.
You've got to get through. You've got to get through physicality to make plays in the TBT. Guys grabbing, bumping, holding, but that is a really tough shot. Off the right foot. Fabulous finish.
So now all the pressure on Louisville. They've got to score, and they've got to hold. They've got to get a stop. They have got to prevent Kentucky without fouling.
Right. Yeah,
because one free throw ends it.
It's over.
And this is the question. Do you just try to run something and get a 2? Do you try to hoist a 3 because you're 6 down, but if you get a 3 to go and you get a stop, you can win it on the next trip.
It's an interesting way. I'm thinking, I'm putting myself in these coaches' shoes, and I'm thinking, well, if somebody's got a clean 3, we've been digging out of a hole, Louisville, the whole night. We throw one in and get a stop. We throw another one in, we've escaped. And you may want to look for one. Now, they're going to be so aware probably of defending the 3. If you've got an easy 2, take it and let's play D. Let's see if we can play D, because the one thing Louisville has done this half, they have been able to defend, and that's why they're in it.
Target score 71. See how the Louisville alums decide to play it here. The rematch Monday night on FS1 from Freedom Hall. Already looking forward to that one, and this one's not over yet.
You better get your tickets up there, right? I mean, it's going to be.
That's great.
And Louisville's they've got great size on the floor right here. So a second shot.
Here comes Chris Jones. Gets the screen from Williams. 30-second shot clock keeps running. No game clock. David Johnson. Now the pressure starts to mount. 7, 6 on the shot clock. Johnson moving in. He's going to get it to the corner. Williams for 3. No good. And La Familia can win it with this trip. Any kind of bucket will do it. Maynard Bell backs up to win it. Whoa! And the tap. Oh man, the crash to the floor. It's out of bounds to the Ville.
Probably could have got a better shot, right? Like maybe could have. Everyone's excited to take the game winner.
Yes.
And he jumped.
Chris Coffey.
He jumped right up off the floor.
Man. So, back to the same situation we had a moment ago. 2, 3, best shot, good look. But if you get a 3, you got a chance. If you get a stop.
and you got to really crash. You just got to sell out and get to the backboard. And maybe it's one of those crash, kick back out for a three.
Trey Lewis. And now the next bucket for Louisville. If it's a three, they get out of here with a win. But they have to get a stop. How do you like the Elam ending?
Oh, baby, this is awesome. They bring Williams up. They bring him up to pick and roll. They don't get up high enough to help, and he's got to step back. Just really great execution.
How about the three by Trey Lewis?
I mean, that's just great execution. Big guy ball screens. Lewis steps back, and you could tell he's taken a lot of big shots in his career because he felt it and he knew they needed it.
Boy, Montrezl Harrell, really, when you look back on that fourth quarter, part of the third, it was Harrell that got him back in it.
You know, here he is. He's in the post. Then here in transition, he runs, gets a bucket. And we've been waiting on him to kind of impose his will, and he absolutely has. And that's why they're in it. But they really need him to kind of set the tone for their toughness and physicality.
Exploding in the fourth when the Ville needed him the most. Now the Kentucky Alums with a chance to win it. 1 point away from the target score. If Louisville gets a stop, they can win it with a three at the other end. Coffee to win it. Blocked! Harrell has the basketball. Now the Ville with a three can win it. And that would shock the house in Lexington. Timeout.
I like it.
Louisville alum.
Do we put Russ back in? I don't know. This group's been playing well together, though.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Would you expect anything else from Kentucky and Louisville? Come on.
I mean, this is spice. This script, man. It was scripted. It's unbelievable. They were down 17, weren't they? Down
Kentucky
7.
was pulling away like Secretariat at the Belmont. And then all of a sudden, Montrezl Harrell reappears.
He did.
And Louisville gets back in the game.
He did. I mean, let's see what they do coming out of this timeout. They've been bringing the big guys up for pick and roll. And you know what? If there's a step back three for a guard from a pick and roll up top for the win, I say go ahead, take it, and let's escape. Because we wouldn't really deserve to win it. Let's get on the bus real quick and get out of here.
And the rematch Monday night at 7 Eastern time on FS1. TBT is underway, and in all of its glory here with this Elam ending. How is this one going to end?
All right, side out of bounds.
20 on the shot clock. The ball in the hands of David Johnson. Jones looking. 8-7. Jones driving. Jones gets inside. Scoop to the hook. No.
Fabulous defense.
Now La Familia wins it with a bucket. Morcell driving. Morcell shot denied. Harrell comes out of there with it. A great block by Malik Williams. And again, a three-pointer by Louisville ends it. Johnson.
Johnson gives him some size handling the ball up top. He can throw over the top.
Harrell to win it with a three. No! Harrison. Morcell blocked by Montrezl Harrell. The fifth Louisville block. They are getting after it.
The plays at the rim are just fabulous.
A wild Elam ending to kick off TBT 2026.
They must be playing for a lot of money. I mean,
Well, you would think $2 million's on the line today.
they are flying around, baby.
Timeout, Kentucky. Heart-stopping. Middle of July basketball between two arch rivals. This is fabulous. Well, here's Harrell's three. And then watch him get back on defense.
Clean look, and I mean, this is just, what a recovery. Because Morcell's got a clean layup. That's a big-time recovery to block that.
You wouldn't think that one basket would be that hard to get, but that tells me you have not seen a lot of TBT in the Elam ending. It's crazy how this gets.
And it's interesting to feel the Elam ending now, sitting courtside, where players are getting a little anxious. I can win it. I can win it with a three. Should I do that? And maybe you force a play or you take a bet. It's you got to coach that, and it's tricky because it's a different world. And but both teams' defense, the last couple possessions have been just fabulous. Their recovery and their athletic ability to block shots and change shots at the rim.
22 seconds on the Kentucky shot clock. Montrezl Harrell has been the Montrezl Harrell we've seen in TBT the last few years.
They were working on this yesterday in practice, some out-of-bounds under stuff. Let's see what we got.
Whitney's the trigger man. Underneath! Kentucky wins it!
Great job, coach. A slip off the screen for the win.
Daryl Morcell, the game winner.
And I think it's fitting.
Elam ending on the dunk and the execution, Mike Bray, of that shot.
They were going through a bunch of things yesterday, out of bounds under, and he was talking about slipping screens, and we'll see it. Just great execution, and it's fitting that Daryl Morcell wins it, because I think his impact on the game was fabulous.
Kentucky takes game one in the best of three, and as nerve-wracking an Elam ending as you could imagine. 72-68, the Kentucky alums win it, and that sets the stage for game two Monday night in Louisville.
Here we go. That's just great. Daryl Morcell kind of sells like he's not in the play and then slips. And they were looking to switch, and just great execution. That out-of-bounds play may get this coach the next job. I mean, seriously, that was a great, and it was interesting to watch them yesterday talk about 3 out-of-bounds. That was one of them.
So the Kentucky alums take game one as we kick off TBT 2026. Game number 2 will be Monday night at Freedom Hall, and what a rematch in a little over 48 hours. Incredible basketball for mid-July. But that, friends, is TBT.
Well, the nice thing for Louisville,
our final score today from Lexington, Kentucky. The Kentucky Alumni 72, the Louisville Alumni 68. Kentucky takes a 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 series. For Jen Hale and Mike Bray and our entire crew here in Lexington, Bob Rathman thanking you for joining us. We will see you Monday night over on FS1 for the rematch in Louisville. So long, everybody.
Here we come. I'm sorry. Daryl Morcell, congratulations. As tough an Elam ending as there ever was. What was going through your head on that shot?
So we came out of timeout. We had a play. I kind of seen a lane, a slip. All we needed was 1 point. So me and Khalil kind of made some eye contact. He found me. We up out of here, man. That's 1 down. So, yeah.
It is a game of runs, no doubt, but this game certainly exemplified that. At one point, y'all were up by 17. What was working so well for you?
We was playing together, getting stops defensively. But, with this Kentucky-Louisville rivalry, it's always going to be a fight. No matter how much you up, how much you down, it's always going to be a fight. So we knew they was going to make a run to come back, but we just had to stick together and figure out a way to win.
It's so much fun to watch, and now the adjustments begin. What did you learn about Louisville that you can use for Monday night?
It's kind of loud in here. What'd you say? What did I learn from?
What did you learn from this game about that Louisville squad that you can use in the rematch Monday night?
Oh man, they got some tough guys. You know, they got a lot of guys who bring their hard hat, who play physical. They got some crafty guards who can get downhill. We know we got to come to play. That's the main thing. We got a lot of guys too, so we'll figure it out. We got to match their energy, match their toughness. We know they're going to come with some energy at home the next game, so that's it. We just got to match it.
And next game, you get Archie Goodwin back. How much is that going to help?
Hey, that's big time. We already got some good size at the guard position. He brings a lot of versatility. He has another ball handler, a lot of scoring. I don't know. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to bring him to the team. We're trying to win this, so we need him for sure.
We're excited too. Thank you so much for your time. Congrats, and we'll see you Monday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys. Perfect.
I don't think she's used to that.